Hello everybody, just getting my breath back. I've just climbed up quite a steep hill to get here. These, I'm told by an elderly gentleman I met walking his dog, are what's left of an ancient hedgerow that was laid about 100 years ago in the old traditional fashion. I'll put a link in the description to quite a long but interesting video on how these old hedgerows were laid. I understand that with the advent of barbed wire, etc., the hedgerows fell into disuse and have just been allowed to grow and grow and grow. As a result, you have these enormous beech, part of a beech forest. This is Wellington Monument in Somerset. It really is a beautiful place to go see a dog for a walk. Though I think it's telling me that I've stood still long enough and we should be moving on. So I'll snap a few pictures of interesting trees and a few more of these hedgerows as we go round. I guess because well, these trees are growing on the side of a hill. The ground is very rocky and stony underneath the beech litter, and there's a lot of erosion, so even quite young slender trees have incredible nabari. As I was saying, it's even more pronounced here. Some of these younger trees on the edge of the forest, on these slopes, have got incredible nabari already. I guess it is the constant erosion, because it is definitely more pronounced on these slopes. It is incredibly quiet and peaceful up here. The roots have just been eroded out of the soil. Do in some ways make it a bit easier getting up the hill. Give you something to get a bit of purchase on. And there's some of the views of picturesque Somerset. I guess this would have been laid as a hedge to stop animals and grazing animals from the pasture land coming in, although it almost looks here for all the rocks as if the trees have grown on some kind of dry stone wall. So I don't know. It seems a plausible story, especially if you look at how traditional South England hedges were laid. And they were laid sometimes on banks intentionally to help keep the livestock out, so who knows. Either way, make for some interesting specimens. As you can see here, it's even more pronounced that these trees have been growing on top of a bank. Just climb up this section. You can see there's a ditch the other side. So, draw your own conclusions. Again, this is a very steep slope here. A lot of soil erosion over the years, exposing these fantastic roots to a definite trip hazard. At times I wouldn't like to try and walk along here at night without a torch. Perfect recipe for a broken neck down there, I reckon. Yeah, boy. Then I see quite young trees that have seeded onto the bank and are growing up on their own. Makes you wonder. Who knows? Unfortunately, this is National Trust property, and digging and collecting of trees is frowned upon. That would make quite a nice little specimen. I won't pretend to be an expert. I've just watched a couple of videos on this hedge laying technique where they pleach the trees. These trees are obviously much younger than some of the ones we saw earlier, but I think it's clearer that these probably were pleached at one point years ago. Coop likes walking along the bank. Unfortunately, I've got him on the lead at the moment, which doesn't make it very easy for him, or me. Cooper D, come back down. Good job. Yeah, I think it's definitely clearer that this is deliberately put in this way, but also abandoned as a hedgerow quite a long time ago. Anyway, as I say, if you're interested, go and watch the video on creating hedgerows and make up your own minds. Okay, so what we've got here is a young hornbeam, about 3 years old. I was going to try and use a beech, but most of my beech seedlings are either too small or too big. This seemed about the right size. I don't want to create a hedge, but I do want to see what will happen and how this tree will react to using a similar technique. Here goes nothing. Get the cutters in just right. Actually, I think I want to come at it from this angle, try and replicate the chopping downwards motion. Focus. Here goes nothing. Have I cut it enough? No. A little bit more. I don't want to cut too deeply and cut it off entirely. That looks better. Okay. So there we have one pleached hornbeam. What I might do is find a rock or something and weight that down. And we'll see how the tree responds. I'll update you in a month or so. Okay, so there we have it. I've tied it down with some wire that wraps around the entire pot and underneath. I'll also put a piece of wire there. It was trying to pull out of the soil a little bit, so that's just holding this piece in place. I could have squashed it down further and aimed for a raft, but that wasn't really what I was after. And obviously I'm just using one tree, so I'm not trying to recreate an entire hedge. Well, the idea does appeal a little bit, but that's what I'm going to leave it at for now, and we'll see what happens.